Everyone, I accidentally hit the stop button, so now I'm going to have to go through the cards and catch you up real quick before we continue on. What we have here in the central energy is we've got the Page of Swords here. So you've got negotiations and contracts going on. It's too late to take any action regarding those negotiations and contracts because you survived. So it is what it is. You survived, and there's no negotiating for your contract because you're survived. You are here in your Nine of Wands energy. You're resilient, you're weary, and you persevered through that. Your faith has been tested. There's forgiveness here. So it could be, maybe, I don't know, you're struggling to get over it. Maybe somebody's asking your forgiveness because where was that? In the previous, before I got all, they martyred you for your things. So they could be asking for your forgiveness. You're in your Chariot here in the subconscious. So you gained a victory over those who had no appreciation for you. They didn't care about you. And you've got your compass here. You know where you're going, or you are on your way, or there's a plan in play. You've got your team here in the recent past, and they're not holding back regarding this snake, whose values were all about money. Whatever they're doing there, they're doing something. You've got your new beginnings here, and that's what the team is working for. They're working for their new beginnings, and they're dealing with this snake who is coming after you for your money and your things. In the near future, we've got the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse and mistakes. They wish they could right their wrongs. And we've got here, down here, it says breaking cycles. So you survived your turn on the wheel in this position, and now it's their turn. You're breaking the cycles. You're moving forward here with victory and a new soul contract. In the environment here, you're in the Queen of Swords energy in reunion. So you're very clear in the mind about it. It's like, or maybe you're very clear in the mind about this reunion for yourself, or maybe your team is very clear-minded about the players on the field, or however you want to view that. Okay. In the hopes and fears section, so we've got the Hierophant here, and this is somebody who's dealing with the guilty who are unworthy here of the reunion. Soul searching, and I guess maybe putting space between them and you, or they could be going into solitary confinement or some kind of a situation. All right, so now you're caught up, and now we're going to go up to the intentions and expectations again. So you got your new beginning, and there's this snake being dealt with by your team here, who is coming after your money, coming after your things. So they all three came out. You were able to preserve yourself against this driver who is not able to bring you any more conflict, or this driver isn't able to bring you any more conflict, and they're going to have to self-preserve. There could be in a dangerous situation. They're going to be experiencing a negative phase on this wheel. They wish they could right their wrongs. This driver is going to have to, they're going to have to survive. They can't bring you any more conflict. You've got the Six of Wands here. You could have survived this soul contract, or you could have gained a victory and you're in a new soul contract here in reunion. in your Queen of Swords energy, very clear-minded. Purpose. Coming into your purpose, you've gained a victory and a soul contract, and you've gained a purpose. So whatever that is for you, you've got your pathway is here already lined up. Okay, you're here in reunion. There's very clear boundaries between you and these ones. They can't bring you conflict. They're not able to change this. Nobody can change this. The Hierophant is here with the guilty who are feeling the pain from the damage they've caused. They've been found unworthy of this reunion. They can't change anything about it. The truth is known. You survived. And because you survived, the truth is known. Prophecy in the rivers. So they could have misinterpreted a prophecy. There could have been a false prophecy. They are guilty and unworthy of taking part in what was prophesied, which would be what? A heaven on earth. The Hermit's here shining a light, soul searching, and you've got space, and there's only one person on that car, and there's cement walls all over the place, and it's like they're going to be given a whole lot of time in solitary confinement to think about it. That's like a purgatory kind of a thing, I guess. Solitary confinement, purgatory. I'm so glad that not everybody is willing to destroy all of creation in order to bring peace. War on this and war on that. I mean, the Hierophants here are putting people in solitary confinement. It's like, no, we're not gonna have to we don't have to get ugly about it. Just is what it is. Although I'm sure there's probably a whole lot of ugly out there. I know there is. The return is great. Religion. And we've got peace on the bottom of the deck. And teacher. Maybe that's your purpose. It's just micro and macro. You know, I mean, you have your experiences, you go through your experience, you get a job. Say you get a job, you don't know anything about it, but you learn. You learn the ropes, and then before you know it, you're really, really good at it. Okay? And then they hire somebody new, and it's your job to train them, right? And it's kind of like this. It could be like this. You know, you survived this thing and you went through it and you gathered all this information. And to you, it may not seem like a whole lot. To you, it may just seem like, hey, I survived and woo, you know. But you possess knowledge that you're probably not even, you're probably very humble. You know, because you were in survival mode. You weren't out here, you know, thinking you were, you know, the king or queen of the world. You were in survival mode. But, you know, I mean, that doesn't mean you're not as strong as all a get up, you know. Look what the collective just came through. It's almost strange how it seems to be dissipating in memory. I don't know. It's weird. Broken. They didn't keep the promises they made. They broke your heart, but not your spirit. You survived. Nine of Wands, persistent, weary, yet resilient. Somebody wants forgiveness. These ones who broke their promises, they want forgiveness for taking your things or for hurting you. The Chariot here, victory for over those who didn't appreciate you. You've got your compass here. Your pathway is open. We've got struggle. Those who broke their promises, they're going to be struggling. You've gained a victory over those who didn't appreciate you and gave you a pathway of struggle. That's what that is. They broke their promises. You survived. They want forgiveness because they took your things and burned you. They hurt you hard. But you gained a victory over those who did not appreciate you. And they gave you a path of struggle. You survived. Distant. So the Three of Pentacles, you've got a team here. They're not holding back. They're putting, this snake is going to be so far away physically and emotionally. They're putting this snake so far away physically and emotionally. So energetically, this person is being moved far, far away. They're not going to be able to affect anybody. And you got the religion card here too. So I don't know what that means for this person. If it's who that may be. It's a snake. You've got new beginnings. Their values were all about money. There are far too many differences to share space. Empty vessel. Empty vessel. Snake. Empty vessel. So they can't bring you conflict. The driver is in a need to self-preserve. They could be in a risky situation. They've made mistakes. They wish they could right their wrongs. You've got the Wheel of Fortune here in the reverse. So they're on a negative phase. You're breaking cycles. You've gained a victory here. You've got a new soul contract and a purpose. Leaving. You're leaving. You're leaving. You breaking this cycle. They're going to go through a negative phase and you are leaving. And while you're leaving, everything for them is crumbling. All of it's crumbling. You're leaving and everything is crumbling. You may be experiencing like some tension, headache type of symptoms, you know, for whoever this was that was attached to you for so long. They may be like really reaching for you, you know, and you may experience that as some form of tension headache. Rocky. It has been a rough road for you. It has been a rough road for you. You must decide whether it's worth it to keep on going. And it looks to me like it is. You've got a victory here and a new soul contract, or a victory over that soul contract, and you're now in your purpose. It has been a rough road for you. Queen of Swords here. In a reunion, nobody can change it, and you're not picking up the pieces. Nothing is in pieces. Everything is coming together nicely. It's falling apart for this other person or people. The Hierophant is here, could be the Most High, regarding the guilty, feeling the pain from the damages that they have caused, and they're unworthy of taking part in this prophecy. We've got prophecy in the reverse. Maybe they had a misconception regarding a prophecy. Maybe they misinterpreted a prophecy. They're looking for an exit plan here. They need an exit plan. Many flames, many flames. Ooh, they're feeling the pain from the damage they've caused. Trying to stop prophecy. Most High God's here, right there. Yeah, they're reaching for you, trying to connect. And that's what I'm saying. You might be feeling tension, headaches, like they're really trying to tap in, you know? And you may be feeling like, you know, this like anger, or like a ultra repellent. You might be like totally mentally like pushing away at this. You may be sensing it, reaching and grabbing, and it may make you angry, you know? Paw masters. So they're reaching for you, and they're guilty, feeling the pain from the damage they have caused. They've been found unworthy. They were trying to stop prophecy. They put out many, many flames. They're looking for an exit plan. They put out many, many flames, and now they want to escape. They were trying, and they're trying to escape ruins. Not gonna work. Not gonna work. They're reaching for you. They're clinging. You've got the Hermit here, shining a light on the souls. On the souls. Who's an empty vessel? Is there a soul in there? You've got religion here. Snake, religion. There being your team. There's a team here that is putting them so far away physically and emotionally, energetically. They're going into solitary confinement, it looks like. Facing it. You know something isn't right. Don't be afraid to find out the truth. It will set you free. So they have to face it. They have to face this. Blind spot. They didn't see it coming. They're grieving over neglect. Their needs will be neglected. Their needs are going to be neglected. They got tangled up making things hard for you. They got tangled up in this web. And now they need an exit plan. Yeah, here, they need to escape the many flames. It's like they're going where they are. They're being haunted. And everything around them is falling apart in ruins for the childish games they were playing. They're being haunted by all of those flames, all the many flames that they put out, trying to stop prophecy. They're reaching for you. They're clinging. We got a monitoring spirit here attacking me. Boom, 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 boom. Don't get all pissy now. The fly is like just... That's wild. So, it's too late to take any action regarding contracts and negotiations. You survived those people who broke their promises and they broke your heart, but they could not break your spirit. They could not break your spirit because you know that there's no greater goal than to love. And if nobody loved you, then you loved you. And you loved you the only way that you can love, which is excellent and to the max. You're sitting here in a 9 of Wands burden, and who knows how long you had to carry this load. But this is the end of that burden. It's the last stand. These ones who burned you, who betrayed you for things, want your forgiveness. They made things so hard for you, and you were able to pull it off. They need to surrender. They need to surrender. They want forgiveness. They have to release their need to control you. You survived. You're in your chariot here, in a victory mode. You gained victory over those who did not appreciate you and gave you a pathway of struggle. You grew in consciousness and awareness. You expanded and became greater. You know, your essence, your soul has more value now because of what you've overcome. You know, the weightlifters and all that, they say you got to break down the muscle in order to build the muscle. I mean, that's what my brother used to say anyway. I wouldn't know. But it's kind of like that, I guess, with spiritual growth. You know, you gotta break it down and then build it back up. I don't know if that's the process, but it seems to be that perhaps maybe it is. You know, hopefully it doesn't ever have to be this extreme at all times. Hopefully, you know, there's gentler ways of doing things. Very disciplined here. Very disciplined. They can accomplish anything they set their mind to. Is this team building something, collaborating. They're not holding back. They're putting this snake far, far away, emotionally, energetically, physically. They're going away. They're an empty vessel. Their soul, or whatever, or the lack of it, is being looked at here with the Hermit card. And you've got this innocent new beginning, the Fool card here. You've got a wonderful opportunity coming up. Blind faith. You may not know all the answers, but you're moving forward with trust. You're leaving. You're leaving. Honesty in the reverse. Values are values that we're all about money. Empty vessel. Lying. Everything around them is crumbling. This driver is finding themselves in a need to self-preserve, so they could be experiencing some danger. They're not able to bring you conflict. They made mistakes. They wish they could right their wrongs. You're breaking the cycle. You're leaving, and now they're having to go through a negative phase. They're having some bad luck. Everything's crumbling around them. They're guilty. Blame. They have to accept the blame. They have to accept responsibility for their own, for what they did and for their life. They're going to have to accept responsibility for their own life. They're going to have to preserve themselves on a pathway of struggle. and hope they survive. They're going to have to learn some hard lessons. You've gained a victory over this with the Six of Wands here. You've gained a victory over this soul contract. You're coming into a new soul contract with purpose. Your road was very rocky for you, but you handled it with courage. And so now it's like all that you have learned, all of this, the strengths, everything that you had to embody and fortify within self, and the methods and ways that you did that. Valuable knowledge, whether you realize it or not. You got the Queen of Swords energy here. You've got clear boundaries. You're not overly emotional. You're balanced, and you're not. It's very clear. It's not emotionally. You're not making choices, or making actions based on over emotional. You've really got yourself here settled. And you probably really had to get really good at that while maintaining your boundaries, because if you got off your rocker at all, boom, there goes your wall, right? There goes your defense. So you had to really hold yourself together persistently, resiliently. And so you're in this very steady, you may have, like, your emotional body may have been like muted or kind of hushed or whatever for a time. Like, you may have really poured all of your effort into just maintaining your boundaries and to persevering through whatever challenges you were going through, and you didn't really get involved emotionally in a lot of stuff. So you may be in this energy here. You're good and all that. You're very clear-minded and direct with your communication, and you're in reunion here. So you're reunited. You held yourself together really well. Nobody can change that. You're not in pieces. Nothing is falling apart for you. Everything's coming together. Worry. Yeah, somebody's worried. And when you know that worrying doesn't change an outcome, and it's like there's somebody here reaching for you. They're very worried, but there's nothing they can do to change this. You are in reunion. Everything's coming together for you. Somebody's very worried about this. The Hierophant is there. These ones are feeling the pain from the damage that they have caused. They're unworthy of taking part in a prophecy, or they have been found unworthy because of all the flames they put out trying to stop a prophecy. They're reaching for you. They're trying desperately to connect. They're worried. The Hierophant is here. The Most High is like, the Most High God is like, hey, and he's dealing with this religion, with these snaky religions, or whoever is pretending to be religious who is actually a snake. I don't know. Take it as it resonates for you. But they're really reaching for you because they were like feeding off of you here. They were trying to stop a prophecy. They can't stop a prophecy. They're worried because they can't stop a prophecy. They've been found guilty and unworthy. They're worried because they cannot stop a prophecy. They're guilty and unworthy. They've been found guilty and unworthy by the Most High God. They're reaching for you. This religious, whoever this religious person is, they're going into solitary confinement or something. If they don't find it funny, this isn't funny. Soul searching with the Hermit here. Soul searching, is it an empty vessel? What happened here? Space. They're being put into some sort of confinement, solitary confinement. They have to face it. There's religion there. Most High God's not happy with whoever this religious person is, or facility, or conglomerate, whatever you want to call it. Maybe maybe he's not happy with the teachings or the methods. Envy in the reverse. They have to face it. You're not envious. It says, I am the same as everybody, but with different challenges. They're not the same as everybody. They're not enviable. They're not worthy of any kind of envy or admiration or any of that. They have to face it. They're just not what they thought they were. We got denial here. Adversity. They're in denial about this adversity in their mind. Death. Wow. I woke up this morning feeling so good. And then, that reaching, I felt that this energy started coming in, picking up this storyline, and it's imagination, fantasy. It was a fantasy. They broke their promises. They broke your heart over a fantasy. And you had to really get yourself together and expand in order to encompass all of the crap you had to survive. You had to expand in this loving energy while you were being overwhelmed. And now these ones want your forgiveness for taking your things, for breaking your heart, for, burning the bridge with you. They need to surrender their need to control you. Now they're feeling overwhelmed. They could be overloaded with whatever obligations they have contracted themselves with. You're in a chariot energy here. You have grown in consciousness and awareness. You have really expanded. And you have gained this, you're moving away from those who did not appreciate you and gave you a pathway of struggle. You triumphed over it. You grew. And you got a victory here. You've got your the negotiations, the contracts. It's very clear what you have been through and what you have overcome and what they've been doing. There's a team here who are very disciplined and they can accomplish whatever they set their mind to. There's no holding back. This snake is, or whoever this snake is, whoever is considered a snake, they're being put so far away, far away, physically and emotionally, energetically, in all ways. Going into this, wherever that is, it's going to be way far away, and they're going to be having A lot of time to think about stuff. Confinement. They're being imprisoned far, far away from you. Far, far away from you. You're not experiencing any loss. They can't bring you a loss. They're not able to bring damage to you. They couldn't. Your team is here, very disciplined. This person's not going to hurt you. This snake, they're not going to be able to hurt you. They're being taken far, far away. You've got self-love. You're caring for yourself, and you are being cared for. You are okay, and you are calm. They're offering you this opportunity to relax and to just really chill out, and be relaxed with this. You're innocent, go forward and have blind faith and just love yourself and know, that, yeah, you may be feeling this energy reaching for you, and it may cause you some tension headaches and all of that. Ooh, they could not bring you a death. You survived. You're innocent. You're innocent. Regardless of what they put you through, what environment they planted you in, what experiences they seeded into your life to flip you into whatever it was they wanted you to become on this pathway of struggle. Their intention was to unalive you and to keep you unalived, and then to take over your role here. But you were innocent. You are innocent. And innocence may be like an inner purity, I mean, you may have had some really horrible experiences, and you may have done some things that weren't that great. But is your heart pure, Was it a role that some magician planted you, some karmic magician planted on you and forced you to experience? Or was that really what your soul was all about, the thing about the Most High God, he's not shallow and childish. Stop. They can't stop you. You're leaving. They can't stop you. You're leaving. You're breaking the cycle. You broke the cycle here. And now it's their turn for a negative phase. They're going to be going, this driver who drove you into these horrible experiences of struggle is going to have to now learn how to preserve themselves through a lack of stability. And they can't fight it. There's no conflict. They can't fight it, and they can't stop you from leaving. They can't stop you. You've got family who cares about you. This team here that cares about you, and that you're reuniting with here. It could be very well, that, yeah. Gained a victory here. 6 of Wands. Public recognition. Soul contract with purpose. Your life has been very rocky, very rough road you traveled through, and you did so with courage and inner strength and confidence. You overcame your fear. And you decided it was worth it to keep on going, and you did with courage. And you may have been blind. You may not have known what was happening to you, but you just kept going. Queen of Swords we got somebody who's worried and stressed out here because your life isn't in pieces. You're coming in, you're in a reunion. They can't change this. You're reunited. So the Most High has gifted you a contract, a new contract. a new soul contract, a new family. They can't change it. They're worried and stressed out. The Hierophant is here. The Most High God is here regarding their guilt and their unworthiness of participating in the prophecy. They were trying to stop a prophecy. They're trying to reach you. They're reaching out for you, energetically pawing at you. They're in a bad way. This is a really horrible time for them. They've been found guilty and unworthy. And this Hierophant is like, there's nothing envious about, nothing to envy about you. It's like, wow, they have to face it. They're an empty vessel. The Most High is like, ew, you're going to go way over there. All by yourself. And think about it. Homelessness. In the reverse, they couldn't cause you a failure. You're not envious. They have to face it. You're not envious. What were they trying to paint you as? But you're not being cast away. You're not poor. There's nothing about them to envy. You're not envious. You don't envy them. You're not being cast away. You're coming into your reward. You're coming into your reward. I hope that this clarifies something that you already intuitively knew, and I'll see you on the next one, everybody. Bye.